Antipasto's in my blood. There's nothing else that consumes me in this life like constructing the perfect antipasto plate. I think a lot of people don't understand what actually goes into building a perfect plate of antipasto. I think a lot of people think it's just rolling up some cold cuts and cutting some cheese and just throwing some peppers on top and serving it. You know, that's a big misconception in this world. There's a lot more thought and planning that has to go into building one of these plates. I start with some basic tools when I'm designing my antipasto plates. I just don't go and start buying ingredients. I think about what I want. I'm thinking about what the contents are going to be. I'm thinking if I'm going to use prosciutto or gabagool, or if I'm going to use sweet gabagool or hot gabagool. But everything starts with a sketch. Everything goes on paper first. Simple tools to start with: pencils, eraser, compass. I like exploring the city. I like hitting up different neighborhoods. I like seeing what's available. I like to see where the true Italians go. You really need to dive deep down into the local culture. I find the best places to go are little Italian delis and out-of-the-way neighborhoods. Usually if you walk into a deli and it smells like salami and cheese, you've hit a jackpot. I know I've been crowned the crown prince of antipasto, but everything's subjective in this world. Some people will rate you a 9, some people rate you a 10. You're never going to be perfect. It's almost like Plato's description of what really is a perfect circle and does it exist. It could be debated for the ages. I'd have to say the people I admire the most, some of my heroes of the antipasto world, would be Federico Fedducci. He was around in the 20s. He first came to prominence in Little Italy. He started out in a deli as a delivery boy, actually, and kind of worked his way up, hanging the cheeses, curing the meats in the basement. And he really probably was an icon in the antipasto world. A more modern day hero of mine would be Giovanni Ameri. Originally from Naples, came to New York in about 1995, and he really took the antipasto world by storm. He was not afraid to really mix it up and use a lot of different cheeses. He strayed away from just your mozzarella and your provolone. He was definitely a maverick in the antipasto world. I mean, there's been no one who's challenged the Ameri crown. That's somebody I really look up to. He really changed the game when it came to not only the contents of antipasto, but the presentation. No longer did it come out on a plate with a vine tree print on it or lemon prints on it. He'd bring out things in star-shaped plates. He'd bring out things in horse heads. He would bring out things in antipasto plates shaped like fish. I mean, this guy was really a game changer in the world of antipasto. I don't think he's got enough credit, but I certainly do cite him as a major influence. This is interesting, historically looking back, during World War II, there was a famous meeting between Hitler and Mussolini, and Mussolini demanded an extra fine antipasto plate to be served to Hitler. Now the problem was Hitler was a vegetarian, so his chef really had to do some fast thinking. Hitler didn't eat cheese, Hitler did not eat sausage, he was strictly a vegetarian. So what Mussolini's chef, Nino Sgragliazzi, was able to pull off was really a miracle using artichoke hearts, olives, roasted peppers. It was basically something that had never been done before. It was a total vegetarian antipasto plate. And a lot of people say that really won Hitler over. I like to lay everything out first. Do it al primo, like a true artist. I lay out my salami, my prosciutto, my cheese, my peppers, my artichoke hearts. Everything gets laid out one shot. When I look at the ingredients of Antipasto, I imagine how Michelangelo must have felt when he stared at that block of marble. He saw David in that block. Nobody else did.
So good.
Every time I come up with something new, I like to try it out on some good friends of mine. This time around, I invited my friend Nick over. It's not the quantity of what's put on the plate, it's the quality, it's the presentation, it's the smell. People get emotional when they first sample my antipasto plates, and you know, I'm perfectly okay with that. It touches me, it makes me feel good. I know I've elicited a response in somebody, and it means a lot to me. Michelangelo had the Sistine Chapel. Caravaggio had the Taking of Christ. I have Antipasto.
So good.
I gotta tell you, one of my greatest achievements was having one of my Antipasto plates on the International Space Station. The feedback I got was great, but you know, in zero gravity, it being what it is, there were some olives that kind of floated off the plate and it caused some problems. But you know, I'm hoping to be in space again. Paint store where, I don't know if you noticed, a little historical fact, this is the Benjamin Moore paint shop where Tony Manero worked in Saturday Night Fever.